started out here in 2016. There's multiple contracts now, but back then there was no work going on out here. We were kind of the first to start redoing the plant and upgrading all the systems. We were tasked with changing a lot of MCC, motor control centers, upgrading switch gears, SCADA system throughout the entire plant, and get everything kind of upgraded. There was no conduit and wire schedule. Nothing really was worked out. They just said, this is the systems, this is how we want them to work. So our first task was separating all the different circuits. You had 24-volt digital inputs, 120-volt digital outputs. You had 4 to 20 analog circuits. All the different systems, we had to actually pick all these apart, build our own conduit and wire schedules, and then create a block diagram for each of the buildings we worked in. So a whole lot of work had to happen before we could actually start out in the field installing anything. So this is building S. This is one of 24 buildings we've redone. It was twofold here. It was to automate the process here to a higher level, and it was to provide safety with all the new motor control centers have built-in arc flash detection system. Super high-speed contacts will drop the mains out if any flash is detected on the fiber. So they actually run fiber network inside all the equipment, and its super high-speed contact will dump the equipment if there's any flash whatsoever. Yeah, we have some wire pools 900 feet long, transmitting 24 volts and 120, 4 to 20 signal. It's a water treatment plant, but we still wanted it to look good when we left here.
It's a Rainscreen system. This is the first commercial application of this in the country and is very unique. Not simple like a flat wall like we're used to, but it was a very fun project to do. One other interesting thing, we did a mock-up. So before we did this, since no one had seen what this looked like in person, we did make a one-off mock-up where we did simulate the prism with different EFIS colors. So we hooked it up to a crane that was out here, flew it up 7 stories in the air, shuffled some panels around so we could pick what glass color to go with what EFIS color. Architect picked what they wanted and then ultimately settled on these 2 colors. A lot of complex framing, geometry to figure out, different facets, all the reveals between them, all the lines between the EFIS running back to east, west, north, south. These king posts we had to match, had to line up with everything. It was very, very complicated. A lot of installation and taking it back, and it was fun. So scaffolding all the way up to right below the bottom of the glass. Actually multiple levels of scaffolding. Part of it, so pretty much you could always reach it by standing, but we did have guys laying on their backs setting those lower panels. After that, we did have some work that we did off a boom lift. It was kind of a mix of everything, but there was a giant scaffolding here provided to us, which was very helpful, and I don't think it could have been done any other way.
You know, since the panels were manufactured already, we had to kind of do the subframing for it backwards. Usually you do the subframing, then you measure, and then you manufacture the panels. This way, we had to get the panel sizes and then subframe it backwards. So because all 3 prisms are different sizes, so the first one is just like straight, the second one kind of turns right a little bit, and then the last one goes, the degree changes. So none of the panels are the same size. Every single panel is a different size. We worked 10 weeks straight, I think it was 7 days a week, 10 hours a day to meet the schedule. But you got done, and it looks absolutely beautiful. It was everything straight, and it reflects really nice. So that's as hard as it was, the calculations, it was a fun project to do.
I'm not sure that pictures do this ceiling justice. It's pretty amazing to see when you're there in person. We had a crew of 6 men working for approximately 3 months installing this ceiling. All the work had to be done on articulating man lifts. No scaffolding was used because the lobby had to remain open and in use during construction. The most critical portion of the project was the installation of the 45 rows of unistrut. We fabricated a layout board with the CNC router. The layout board was shot down to the floor and then ran the entire length of the 140 feet of the long side of the lobby. Lasers were used to project the locations from floor to ceiling. Drop-in anchors were hammer drilled into the deck, bolting the unistrut to the deck. After all the all-thread was complete, we started hanging the diamonds. This took an extreme amount of coordination with all the ductwork. The ceiling actually changes in elevation, again, quite challenging. I think it's supposed to look like something rolling, like a rolling wave. This was the stairway that leads up to the second floor with a little bench seating area here that was also part of that main lobby. Really, the beauty is in the ceiling. Just an extreme amount of coordination, a lot of work. We're very proud of it. Worked well with the team, the general contractor, the architects, everybody worked well together, and it was a real pleasure getting this done.